Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This time I would like to discuss my trip to Italy last week. So occasionally I visit the city of Trieste. The city is located in the northeastern part of Italy, very close to the border with Slovenia. So I can visit the city every now and then and stay there for one day or something, so it's not a big distance to make. And I got to know one CD store there that I visited for the first time in March, and I got two CDs back then, Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen, and I showed them in one of my recent videos from March, I believe. So this time I also visited the store that I'd already known, and when I visit Italy, I have high hopes of finding the city of my favorite female artist in general, Simona Molinari, and she's an Italian singer, jazz, pop, and of course when I go to Italy, to her homeland, I would be very delighted to find her album, and it would be very authentic to find it in one of the Italian CD stores. So when I visited Trieste in March, I actually asked the staff in the store about her albums, if they have any, and the answer was niente, nothing. So back then I had to accept the fact that I was not going to get her CD, and just moved on. But this time I visited the same store again, and as soon as I entered the store I got that big hope that maybe this time I would actually be able to get one of her CDs, because she has released 5 CDs so far, and I've got 2, I've collected 2, so there were still 3 to go at that point. So again, I looked all over the place, I searched all the shelves with Italian music, and I didn't find her CD. So eventually I decided to ask the staff again about any of her CDs, and again the answer was nothing currently, as they say, but obviously it never comes. So because of my big desire, my big wish to actually get one of her CDs, I didn't want to get anything else in that store. There was just something pushing me on to look more, to visit more possible CD stores in the city, just to make sure that I've actually seen it all, and I have nothing to blame myself for. So I just took the phone, used the Google navigation, and wrote CD shop in Trieste in the Google search box, and eventually I realized there was another CD store not too far from the one I was just standing in. So I took a walk. It took me about 20 minutes, even more, to finally reach the place. It was a very hot day. The city is located next to the sea. So I finally found the store. I entered and I asked, "Do you have a Simona Molinari CD?" And the guy luckily knew some English, and he said, "We're only selling classical music CDs." So again, I didn't have luck, but he was kind enough to actually give me the map of the city, and he showed me the one remaining CD store in the city that I hadn't visited yet. So at that point, that was my last hope. I was walking more, from that store I started walking to the last store that I hadn't visited. I was walking, and finally reached it. I was exhausted, and as I reached the place, I realized it was a bookstore having a CD section as well. So I thought, okay, let us hope for the best. You know, the shop was obviously specialized in books, but also having some nice number of CDs there, and I thought, okay, maybe that store would be my lucky one. So I approached the shelves with CDs, and I looked for the letter M on the Italian music in the Italian music sector, and yeah, I checked the first row, nothing. I checked the second row, nothing. I checked the third row, nothing. So eventually I approached the last row of CDs in the letter M section, and there it was. There it was. I was so happy. It was one of the best experiences of CD hunting so far. I don't think I've ever been that delighted. It was so authentic to get this CD. I was so happy. So this is Simona's recent release called Casa Mia, My House. She's singing old, I would say, jazz and pop standards from the 50s and 60s. I'm looking forward so much to give it a listen. It's still in shrink wrap, but you know, there are like songs like Dream a Little Dream of Me, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, yeah, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward so much. So this is really, it really knocked me down. At that point I felt I got it all. I got everything that I wanted, but I said, okay, let's try and see what else they could offer, and I found some relatively good deals, and I decided to go for another one. So I bought this CD, Demis Roussos, Lost in Love. I've wanted to have the collection of his hits for a long time, and eventually I was even more delighted by getting this one, because it doesn't only have the hits that we all know, like Forever and Ever, Goodbye My Love Goodbye, My Reason, and so on, but also some songs that are not that common on his compilations. So I was very delighted to actually get the CD that I've never seen before. So yeah, it was a nice and successful day in Trieste. So thanks for watching my video. This was my adventurous story on CD hunting in a foreign city, in a foreign country. Eventually I was very happy and very lucky to get what I wanted and more. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you again soon.